Hello and welcome back to the Carp Hunters YouTube channel after probably what is about 4 months, I would say. I've been away. I have been fishing a couple of times since the last video, however I haven't uploaded any videos, just been taking a little break. I wanted to focus on a bit of my own fishing for a while during the winter, because obviously it's a lot harder in the winter, and you know, trying to make a video by yourself as well as fishing as efficiently as you can, it does make for quite a challenging task. So I did focus a little bit on my own in the winter, without bothering with the cameras too much. But as you can see, the leaves on the trees are now green, which can mean only one thing: we are in spring. It's the start of May, it's the 4th of May now, I believe. I rocked up to the new venue yesterday. It's a 38 acre lake, 8 acres worth of lakes and 8 acres worth of islands in the middle. So it is really a weird lake to fish. But yeah, we are fishing. Did get the rods out this morning. I've literally just finished getting them out, and it probably took about an hour and a half. That's how out of the runner things I am. But no, the rods are out now. I've got one on a zig. I've gone 3 foot under the surface. Where that zig is, it's about 7.5, 8 feet. So I'm mid-water, I'd guess, or probably just above mid-water. On my that's on my left-hand rod. On my middle rod, I've got 2 bits of fake pop-up maize spread around, a handful of sticky vanilla boilie, and a little bit of corn. That's the spot over there that I took out with the bait boat. And then my right-hand rod is on a mainline high visual pineapple pop-up, and that's taken out also with a bit of vanilla, a bit of sweet corn, to another clear spot that I found to the right-hand side of my swim. Because over here, pretty much all round here is almost unfishable. There's a lot of thick weeds there. I don't want to. Yeah, so I did have a little net about earlier. I couldn't find much over there, so I started letting about over here. I did find a couple of nice donks down, proper solid, definitely gravel. So I took the bait boat out. I've mapped my whole swim out. I did that last night because I got here yesterday evening. But yeah, by the time I knew where I was, it was pitch black. So yeah, I didn't bother getting the camera out last night simply because it was dark, and I might as well start it in the morning, a new day, and here we are. So that's all 3 rods. Like I said, I've just put them out. It's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning. Been up since about 5ish, just after first light. I set my alarm for 5 o'clock. I woke up to it, but I must have put it on snooze because I was a bit tired after getting down here, everything ready yesterday. So I did give myself an extra half hour, but I still wanted to go up with the sunlight, see if I could see any fish showing, because this is a very low stock lake, the particular lake I'm on. So being on the fish is vital. So I don't have any intentions of staying in this swim at all at the minute, because I haven't seen anything. To be honest, the reason I've came in this swim is because this swim has previous form. It was getting late last night. I didn't have time to walk around the lake to see if there's any fish showing. I needed to get into a swim and get bivvied up for the night. So that's that. And yeah, so I've plonked myself down in here. But not a lot has happened as of yet. I just had a couple of liners. I'm guessing that's either the line settling or the wind. But no, I will keep you updated if anything does happen in due course. But I'll later on in the session, later on today, I will actually. I'll just go through my tactics and what I'm thinking approaching a brand new venue. So this will be the majority of the content for the rest of this season. I probably won't upload every session I do down here because there'll be a lot of blank nights. But it's a journey I do want to document, because there are some special fish to be caught in here. Anyway, it's lovely to be back speaking to the camera. It's bloody lovely to be back on the bank actually, and it's even better to have the sunrise at 5:30 and not set until almost 9 now. So that's a lot better. But yeah, I'll see you later, hopefully with a fish. But if not, you can join me with a cup of tea, and I'll tell you a bit about the session. Okay, so I'm back already. Quickly, I did just want to show you something. I have got a new gadget that I do want to show off to the camera, I guess you could say. I'll flip the camera around quickly and I'll let you see it. I think it's pretty cool. It's very, very helpful for those long treks. Right, so this is my barrow, and it's the Carp Porter 3-wheeled one. It's not the extreme one, it's just normal. But if you look here, what do we have here? So this is one of the barrow conversion kits from Barrow Conversions UK. If you look down there, that wheel looks a little bit different. So the motor and all that is in there. I've got batteries and everything else, all the cabling shoved away so you don't need to see it, but we do. Power on, and you can see green light means full battery. What I've got to do, it is mad, and it is so helpful for those long treks that you can't get the car, and it's powerful. I mean, that is bloody, yeah, amazing bit of kit. Well, it's coming up to 10 o'clock in the morning now, and yeah, not a lot has happened, which is totally expected. By the way, this is bloody tough lake. You know, I've had to turn the sensitivity down on my Delphin because the wind is constantly picking up, and yeah, it all sort of channels through. The wind sort of just perfectly comes into my area, so it's quite windy here, but I'm protected from the trees here. But it's just the rod's constantly making noise, so I just had to turn it down to save my ears, basically. But no, I've just had a cup of tea, just sitting down, make sure I'm watching the water, watching all around me as well, not just in my swim. But hopefully the wind is blowing this way, so any fish that are coming from over there are hopefully coming this way, and I'm intercepting them sort of before they get to that half of the lake down there. So that's my plan at the minute. Like I said, I've got one on a zig. I may take it down another foot in about, I'll probably take it down about midday, so I'll give it another couple of hours at that height, and then I'll take it down another foot. But apart from that, nothing's happened, like I said. And yeah, it is really nice to be back out on the bank, finally fishing, and finally making a YouTube video as well. It is a lot better now the weather's nicer as well, because you know, it is proper brutal during the winter. But like I said, May's here, the green's on the trees, but it is still bitter cold. It was blooming cold last night. It was probably about, I think it got down to about 4 or 5 degrees last night. So for May, that's quite cold, but it obviously got down a lot colder than that a few months ago. But anyway, apart from the weather, I think the pressure's probably about 10-13, 10-14 at the minute. So yeah, the pressure's plummeting, I'm pretty sure. We've got rain due for the next for the next however long I'm here, so that should be quite fun. Hopefully that'll pick the fishing up, but if not, we'll have to see what our options are. Like I said earlier, the move is also on the cards. But yeah, I am going to get my throwing stick out in a minute, put a little bit of bait out just in the area. Not, you know, nowhere specifically, because it's quite windy. I'm just trying to throw in the general vicinity to try and sort of entice carp to sort of come closer in, instead of it just being in one concentrated spot. So that's my thinking at the minute. Like I said, I've got two on a spinner rig, one with 2 bits fake maize, one with a bit of pineapple pop up on it from mainline, and then the other's on a zig with a bit of black foam and a blacker liner. I'll later on in the session I'll tell you how I do my zigs. There's a way I do them, and in my opinion, for adjustable zigs anyway, it makes it so much easier. But anyway, I'll leave you to it now. I just wanted to give you a little update of what's happened. I'm going to get the kettle on again because it's still quite chilly. this northeasterly wind is quite bitter. But anyway, I'll see you later. Well, I'm going to apologise straight away about the wind, but I have just moved swims. There's the barrow, still fully loaded. Yeah, I'm not too happy with the other swim, I can be honest. So I've only came, well, where I was fishing, just over there. But look at all this in front of me now. I've got features on features on features on features. Just look at that swim, that is just immense. So I need to work hard, get all the kit off the barrow now, get a base camp set up. Back to swim with the old boat, and I'll see you once I've done all that. Okay, so welcome back to the video. I didn't record anything yesterday because obviously moved into the swim, and not a lot happened yesterday. But I did want to get the camera out this morning to let you know what's happened. I did lose one earlier, which I'm absolutely gutted about. You know, it was probably, you know, I'd put money on it being my only chance this session to catch a fish. So I'm a little bit gutted about that. But we carry on going, and I put the rod straight back out. The same rig it was on before, same bait, etc, etc. But if for some reason I do get another bite, which I'm hoping I will do, but the chances are not looking great because of just the form this lake has. But if I do get another bite, I'm not too sure where the weed bed is that it got caught in, because it was a thick weed bed. You know, all I remember, the rod went tight, it didn't take any line because I'm fishing quite far out. Just pulled round tight, I lifted into it, and I felt this massive fish on the end. I could not move it, and probably from about 120 yards away it just went on a storming run. I couldn't stop it, then managed to stop it, got it back towards me a little bit. It started swimming towards me, so I started reeling in as fast as I could, and then it just went straight into a big thick weed bed. Couldn't move it. I did feel a little bit of movement right as I was just getting out of the weed bed, but I think it must have came off right at the end there, because I reeled in a big bag of weed and no fish to show for my efforts. But that's what fishing is about, you know. I've just got to pick myself up and go again. But yeah, the weather has been diabolical today. It's just been raining all day. I've had a nap earlier because there's nothing else. There's literally nothing else to do at this point, apart from watch the water. But I've been watching it the whole time, and I think I've probably seen one or two fish the whole time I've been here. So I'm going to put the camera down a little bit now, and then I'll bring it back out later on once the rain's hopefully stopped. And I'm going to redo all three of my rods because I haven't redone them. They've been out for over 24 hours, but it's been pissing it down all day today, and I didn't fancy getting soaked. So I'll see you in a little bit, and hopefully with a fish this time. Okay, so I'm just going to bring the right hand rod in. I'm going to redo that. I might redo the middle rod as well, but yeah, I'm just going to bring that in now. Okay, so I've just brought the right hand rod in because I am going to redo it. It's been out for about 24 hours now. But if I just show you this hook bait, how much has been taken out of it, by the looks of it, crayfish. But I know this is presented, I know this is sitting at the bottom just like that, just like that, waiting for a carp to put this in its gob and my Delkins to go screaming. So I'll change the rig and I'll get this heli safe system straight back out there with the boat. Rig is in the boat, bait is in the boat. Just need to start the Carp Lounge software, and it should be just like that. We're connected. Okay. Right, you bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to take the boat down. I'm just setting up the autopilot to drive to the spot, approach with a thing called stop and drop, so it slows down, hopefully it gets to the spot, and then it approaches it with a less aggressive speed, and it slows it down so the lead can drop on the spot exactly, and you're fishing exactly where you want to be. So drive here and trigger action, hopper, open the right hopper, I'll open both, why not? Approach with stop and drop, start autopilot. Right, I would show you the screen of the tablet and what everything's doing, but you'll be able to see the lake I'm on, and I can't do that, so we just have to try and imagine what's in front of me, and yeah, just bear with me while I try and explain it. The boat's been out, so I'm just going to return it home now, and we are fishing with all 3 rods again. I'm going to go and set up this rod, get the boat back inside, get the tablet back inside, and I'll see you later on, probably in about an hour or so, because I'm going to watch qualifying quickly for the Formula 1 when I'm putting the middle rod out, so I'll see you then. So, welcome back to the channel. I'm just watching the Formula 1 at the minute, and I am handheld because the tripod is outside at the minute, and it's been tipping it down again. It's been raining literally all day, so I'm just sat in here in the warm, enjoying the Formula 1. It's too dark now anyway to take the camera outside and record, so I will leave it there. I did redo the second rod because it turns out I was an hour early for the Formula 1 qualifying, so I did do that. I did it off camera though, because yeah, it's literally just the same process. It's putting the right hand rod out. But I'm gonna leave you for the night. I'm gonna get watching this, and I'll see you in the night, hopefully with a fish. But if not, you'll catch me in the morning, probably redoing the rods again or having a cup of tea. One of the two. See you in a bit. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's the next day now, and it's almost coming up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. That's how quiet it's been. I got up about 8ish, I think. A bit later today. I had a bit of a late night last night. Got a bit distracted watching the old YouTube videos. When I woke up earlier on, I brought the rods in, all 3 of them, and I did a lap of the lake just to see if I could see any fish showing in any of the areas around the lake that aren't visibly accessible from my swim. So I did a lap of the lake. I went over and saw the other lake as well, and just had a little look around there. So I don't know, probably spent about an hour and a half away from my swim earlier, so a bit of time lost. But no, the fishing's going really slow at the minute. There was a guy, oh, and that's my zig, go on. There was a guy yesterday that had one out on this lake. Not quite sure what that was just then, but certainly wasn't a fish. There is a bit of crap that is sort of coming across the lake and settling on my lines where it... That's that blooming rod again. Wouldn't it be 6 gears? I know with zigs that the slightest bit of bobbing movement can mean a bite, but... And my Delkin receiver's dying, so I need to change the battery in that. With my lap of the lake, I didn't see anything of interest. I did go along, because the original reason I did sort of have a lap of the lake is because I want to get more access to where the fish are, where I presume they are, where I've got that bite from a zig. It's a clear day now. There is a bit of a head on the waters, but you know, any fish that are sort of coming up towards the surface and you know, barely breaking the surface, I should be able to see. And I have got my my floater rod with me, so I will get that out if I can see a couple on the surface, but there isn't any that I can see at the minute. But yeah, like I said, tactics wise, we've got 2 on the deck, 1 on a zig, and that's my game plan. I was going to put a second on a zig today, but the fishing really didn't ramp up after that first bite, so I didn't really want to put all my, well, the majority of my bets on zigs, because they are, especially adjustable zigs, they're renowned for being fiddly. Just a lot of people can't get on with them, and I didn't really want to not necessarily waste a lot of my time putting 2 on zigs, but I thought I'd rather have 2 on the bottom and 1 on a zig instead of 2 on a zig and 1 on the bottom, because obviously I've got complete confidence in both of my tactics, but I've got more confidence in the spinner rigs that I'm using. And as for bait, I'll show you the bait now that I'm using. I've got the if you've watched any of the Bluebell videos, you'll remember the JH baits, really quite famous on the Bluebell complex, but yeah, you don't really hear much about it outside of the world of Bluebell lakes, but here it is anyway. It's the JH bait Nutty Bee pop-ups. I've got one on one of these, so I'll just show you the colour of it quickly. So I'm pretty sure I showed you the rig yesterday, but that's one of the pop-ups. They're a beautiful, beautiful flavour. It's well, it's Nutty Bee, isn't it? But I do like the JH baits. I've used some of the some of the Nutty Bee boilies before. I've had quite a bit of success with them over on the Bluebell complex as well. You know, obviously with the Nutty Bee boilies aren't quite the same colour as the pop-ups, so it's not completely match the hatch, but it is pretty much there, you know. And when fishing match the hatch, it can be devastating. So that's that. The bait I'm using at the minute for my scatterings, my freebies, whatever you like, is I'm using a frozen bag of corn. Only putting a handful out with the corn, and then that's that left hand rod again. Keep an eye on that. And then 10 or 15 of the sticky vanilla shelf life boilies as well. So I'm not quite fishing match the hatch with the difference between the JH baits Nutty Bee and the sticky vanilla. Like I said, 2 bits of fake maize on one rod, the JH baits Nutty Bee pop up on the middle rod, and then a bit of black foam, a black zigger liner on the left hand rod. It's about 7 foot in front of me, 7.5, 8 foot. It really does skip between the 2 of them. Very, very weedy in front of me as well, so I am just fishing in the pockets. Zig fishing in weed can be very difficult, hence the one I lost before. So it is really about persistence and patience with zigs, because I think I've probably lost more than I've landed with adjustable zigs especially. But that is zig fishing. It's not the most efficient rig, but it does get the bites, and you know, if you keep getting the bites, you will eventually land one. It's just the frustration in between. But I'm going to stop waffling in a minute. I just did want to give you a little update on the session, and yeah, literally not anything worth getting the camera out specifically for has happened. There has been the odd thing. I saw a show earlier when Matey was in my swim. I was having a little chat with him, and yeah, we saw one showing right over my right hand rod, and after that, once he'd gone, because he's going on the opposite bank, he'd just arrived, about 10 minutes after that, I did get a couple of weird indications on my right hand rod, and it looked like the bobbin had pulled up a little bit tight, and there was a slight bend on the rod, so I wasn't too sure. So I picked the rod up, started reeling in, and yeah, obviously nothing on the end, but the hook bait, the hook, and probably, I don't know, about 6 foot of my main line after that just reeks of carp, and I mean reeks of it. My hook bait smelt of it more than Nutty B. My hook stunk of it. There was no sign of an aborted take, because with the Kamakuras, what normally happens is they're that razor sharp. The second they enter a fish's mouth, they sort of bend over and are pretty much unusable after that point. But the hook was still razor sharp, so I don't think anything picked it up. I might have got a trailer. Sorry, I might have had a trailer or a liner, a bit of pretty savage liner it would have had to been. But no, I'm keeping going. I did want to move today, like I said, but there's a matey moving in the swim that commands most of the water on the lake. And when I did have a walk around there this morning, I saw no one in there, got a little bit excited. But as I walked down towards the water's edge, I saw this bucket appear out of nowhere. So yeah, that put an end to that little adventure. But I carried on having a walk around, see if I could see any fish showing. I couldn't. And yeah, I had a look around the other lakes for a couple of minutes. And then I came back to my swim, got the rods out. And you are pretty much up to date now. I'm going to get the kettle on, I think, and then sit back, watch the water on this lovely, lovely sunny day. Good evening, and it's probably about 2 hours or so since I last recorded. Yeah, apart from the beeps I kept getting on the zig, nothing's happened. But yeah, everything has just seemed to have died at the same time. My receiver box was dead earlier, had to charge that up. My middle alarm died yesterday, so I had to change the battery in that. Luckily I brought spare 9-volt batteries with me, otherwise I would have been in a bit of trouble. But today, just to top it all off, if you heard that noise in the last few clips, my receiver was dying as well, so I just had to change the battery in that. But no, nothing's happened. I've just got the kettle on. It does look a bit too hot for a cup of tea at the minute, but yeah, at this point in the session, that's all the drinks I've got left, so I'm living on cups of tea at the minute. But speaking of cups of tea, I did just want to say quickly, if you are out fishing and you do like your cup of tea, if you like a couple of cups of tea or a few cups of tea like I do, then obviously always make sure to pick your bin bags up. Most of the time they're biodegradable, but you know, no one wants to come into a swim and bin bags just scattered all over, tea bags scattered all over the place. So they're outside on the floor at the minute, my tea bags, but obviously make sure to put them in the bin at the end of my session. So lovely evening, looks good for a carp on the zig. Not going to hold my breath about the 2 rods on the bottom at the moment, but it's promising. Matey over there lost one 3 o'clock this morning. Matey over there has had one, so the lake is turning on a little bit. Obviously this isn't quite how I expected them to react to how much angling pressure there is, because there is a lot of it at the minute. There's probably about 8 or 9 of us on the lake, probably 10, and on a lake of this size that's nothing really. But you're going to get some food on in a minute, get a bit of scran. Grand Prix starts in about 3 hours, and I'm just going to chill out, watch the water, and hopefully have a fish. The lake is looking spot on for a bite on the zig. If I just show you out there, oh, it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What a time to be out on the bank. Kettle's just been boiled, and I'm gonna get a cup of tea or a coffee. I haven't had a coffee yet, so I might have a coffee and get set for the Grand Prix later on, like I just said in the previous clip. But no, this lake is absolutely stunning. I'm going to leave you to it now. I don't want to waffle, and I'll see you in a bit, hopefully with a big fat 45-pounder on the map. Welcome back. It's probably about 7 o'clock now, and I've just had to wade out and clean all the weed, all the Canadian pond horrible shite weed off of my lines, because it's proving to be a bit of a problem. And you know, I love how sexy the the rods look when they're up in the air, but I think I might have to go rod tips down tonight if this keeps being a problem, because this must be the third time I've cleared it out today, and it's just coming and coming and coming. But the wind's dropped off now, so there shouldn't be any reason really for weed to start drifting in to my area and you know, messing up all my lines. But that's pretty much all the update I've got for you. Chill out, sit on the old moon chair, enjoy what is a lovely spring evening, and the perfect way to end a nice evening like this would be for Fernando Alonso to win the Grand Prix, and for me to land a nice £45 mirror. Right, I'll see you later on. Hopefully both of those things have happened, but more likely than not, neither of them have happened. I said I'd see you in a bit. I'm just going to put the old sticky miller out. If you're wondering what this is the quarter bucket, which has got 4 little buckets in it. You know, one of the best things I've ever got, really. It's so simple, but so handy to be able to put 4 different things completely separated from each other in the same bucket. But I'm just going to get a couple of these out just in the general vicinity. That's obviously what a throwing stick is for. And see if I can try and entice a couple of carp into the area. I've only put about 10 or 15 baits around the hook bait, so a little bit more widespread with a 20 or so more boilies. Hopefully sort of bring them into that zone, gets them a little bit more excited, and yeah, hopefully these do a bite, so I'm going to just do that now. Done a few with the throwing stick, and I'm just going to do a few a bit more accurately with the catapult. That's that done. I'm going to get some food on and get the Grand Prix on. Can't wait. Good morning, and obviously with the lack of nighttime footage last night, nothing was caught. I think that's probably expected at this point. I did say after I lost that fish on the zig that I put money on it being my only chance of a bite this session, and so far that looks like it's true. But last night on the complex, tonight home tomorrow, and it's been a bit of a frustrating one, to be honest. You know, I am lucky to have had a bite, especially on a zig, on this lake. You know, this is one of the toughest lakes I've ever fished from what I've heard, and it's very chilly this morning. It's one of the toughest lakes to fish. Just have how the lake's set out, of how big it is, of how little fish there are in here. It is a really tough lake. You know, it's a big pit, low stock venue, and that's, you know, that is just big hot, and that is just big hard carp fishing in a nutshell, really. But I didn't get the camera out to waffle in the rain. I'm just going to put my zig down, take my zig up another foot, so 2 feet under the surface this time, and I'm going to redo my middle rod. So let's just do that quickly. I'll do the zig first, and then we'll reel the middle rod in. Well, I love it when that happens. That's another bloody £2 down the drain almost. Obviously because I'm fishing such a weedy lake and the carp in here are so so hard to come by. Obviously, I've got the old heli-safe leader on without the collar, so we'll drop the lead. And yeah, that's the risk you run sometimes when you're reeling through weed. You run the risk of a lead coming off every now and then. But yeah, I'm going to get a new lead on this. Change the hook I think now as well, because this hook's pretty much had it. And I'll be back in a second once I'm taking this out with the boat. Okay, so I did just want to show the hook quickly. It looks pretty much sharp, but you can just see the tiniest little nick in the end of it. So I'm not sure whether I've been done or not. Obviously that'd explain the lead coming off. I'm really not sure. You obviously can't beat 2 bits of maize. But yeah, that's strange because I had no indications last night. And trust me when I say this, I wake up to pretty much every beep I get from the old Delkims. So that surprised me a little bit. I don't really know what to make of that. But anyway, I'm going to get a new hook on here, because that's had it now, because these Kamakuras, they are just absolutely razor sharp. But you know, once the end's turned over like that, you can slightly see it. They have had it. So I'm going to change the hook, keep this hook bait on, straighten out this boom because it's got a little bit bent. So like I said a minute ago with that hook, I was going to put one of these Kamakuras on. This packet's empty now, I don't know why that's still in there. But I was going to put one of them on, but these aren't barbed because I was still fishing Bluebell Lakes when I got these hooks. And obviously fishing Bluebell as much as I did, there is no point in buying barbed hooks. But I do have some crank hooks. They're not Kamakura obviously, but they are micro barbed. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to give it a little sharpen with the pinpoint sharpener and see if that can improve our hook to land ratio, because obviously everyone would take barbed over barbless any day. But yeah, I don't have any of the Kamakuras in barbed, so I'm going to stick one of these on, hand sharpen it and get it out on the spot. What a start to the bloody day. Massive bird's nest of line in my hand. I was taking my middle rod out with my boat. A blooming swan came by, started trying to attack it, which they do, and it just got so tangled round itself. It took my right hand rod out as well because it got tangled around that. But my right hand rod's alright. I've just lost, I don't know, probably about 50 meters of my line on my middle rod, so I'm gonna respool anyway when I get home because the line's looking a bit tired now. But yeah, not a great start to the day. I'm a little bit pissed off about that, but yeah, we go again. Now I've got to get 2 rods out instead of just the 1. Well, you join me in my pit. I don't think I've ever done this before, but the reason being, obviously number 1, it's pitch black outside, but if I'm quiet for a second, it's pissing it down again. It hasn't stopped raining since about 8 o'clock. It's just coming up to midnight now. I've just been watching a couple of my old YouTube videos actually. You know, just trip down memory lane, a couple of the old sessions at Bluebell. But yeah, it reminded me I haven't recorded out tonight, and I needed to do something. So I'm just going to record it in my pig because I can't, to be quite frank, I can't be bothered to get out of bed. So yeah, I'm going to hit the Z's in a minute, and hopefully be woken up by the Delkin screaming off. But yeah, off tomorrow evening. So I've got all day tomorrow. But yeah, this is pretty much bang on what I expected. If anything, it's been a little bit better than I expected. It sounds a bit silly saying that, but to have a bite on my first session is beyond anything I could have comprehended. So I'm not necessarily complaining. I am obviously gutted. I lost that fish. God knows how big or small that could have been, to be honest. So yes, I'm not going to even think about it anymore because it upsets me just thinking about it. But like I said, I'm going to close my eyes, watch the back of my eyelids for a little bit, and I'll be up in literally about 5 hours. Try and get the morning mist in the video, because yeah, this lake just looks beautiful in the mornings when the mist's out. I'll see you in the morning, or well, ideally in a minute with a fish on my mat, but probably not. So I'll see you in the morning. Hello, and welcome back to the video. If you can hear that, that was thunder. I'm right in the middle of a thunderstorm in a minute, and I'm due off in quite literally an hour. So yeah, I'm not too excited to pack away. Luckily, there's not as much rain as was predicted this evening. But yeah, I am in the middle of a thunderstorm. So whether we've still got heavy rain to come, but I am literally just trying to leave it as late as I can until I pack up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to end the video here because I don't want to bust down. I don't want to mess about when I'm trying to pack away and get everything sorted. So I need to focus on getting everything packed away now. Watching the weather, trying to time it, I guess, and yeah, trying to avoid this thunderstorm. But it's not been a great session, obviously, because I've blanked, but it's not been below my expectations. It's obviously I lost that one on a zig, so like I said last night, that was gutting, but it was a lot more than I expected from this venue, if I'm being honest. Certainly to get a bite as quickly as I did, it was literally the morning after I moved into this swim. So yes, I'm not sure how big it could have been or how small it could have been, but it was on a zig, and it was a powerful take, and it was a powerful fish as well. But we go again, and next time I'm down here, I'll try and redeem myself with a nice fish show on the mat. But for now, like I said, I'm going to end the video here because I don't want to piss about with cameras and fishing kit. Can you hear that? It's pretty cool being out fishing during a thunderstorm, but yeah, like I said, I don't want to mess around, get wet, get soaked and get killed for no reason. So I'll see you in the next video. When that is, I don't have a clue at the minute, but it won't be as long as it has been since the video before this one. But for now, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I enjoyed making the video. I've had a lovely session down here, beautiful place, and yeah, only a matter of time before I'm back down here speaking in front of the camera again. But for now, if you like the video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in a bit.